Okay, good. So thank you all for coming today. I hope you learned something in the last webinar. You'll certainly learn something in the next one. So today we're going to talk about trading as a discipline, as a skill, or as a career. And we're not just going to consider trading from the perspective of entering and exiting the market, but as a skill that you develop, a skill that's developed with the help of a number of components. And we're going to consider the factors of success for professional traders, those people that actually make it in the trading world. And we'll consider the advantages that they have over you, the retail trader at home, the things that their prop firm provides for them that retail traders don't have and probably don't even realize they need. Now, these statistics here are based on a poll of 250 traders we questioned in a recent webinar. Now, we can see that there's not many people getting money out of the markets, but there's lots of people spending years and years trying to do that, jumping from method to method, trying lots of different things in their quest to make a profit. Now, for a lot of people, it's more than 10 years of trying to find that elusive, easy way to trade. And it goes without saying there's nothing easy about spending 10 years doing something and failing. In fact, many people get hooked on finding an easy way to trade, just as if the easy part is the most important aspect of trading, the real thing they're looking for. So it's worth covering what professional traders and what professional trading firms think is the easiest way to get profits, because it's probably not what most people think. Now, by easy way to trade, what we should probably actually say, what we really mean is easiest with a chance of success, or most likely to get profitable in the shortest time frame. Now, prop firms or proprietary trading firms take on intern traders, usually with no trading experience, and then they turn them into profitable traders. They then split the profits with those traders. So today, we're going to focus on what futures prop firms generally teach their intern traders to get them profitable in the shortest time possible. Now, on the other hand, traders that spend 10 years on supposedly simple techniques, they're picking up information on how to trade from some fairly useless trading books, some questionable internet forums, and other source of information that, generally speaking, they promise a lot of reward for very little effort. So we need to focus on the professional side. So what is it that differentiates these professional traders learning to trade from you guys at home? And here it is. So generally speaking, because not all prop firms are the same, short-term trading is where prop firms focus, and that means trading off the depth of market or dome and not the charts. Now, the dome gives you the best view on what is happening in the market right here, right now, how traders are behaving, if the market is picking up pace or slowing down, if traders are trapped or if they're not. Yet most retail traders, and some of you in this room now are thinking exactly this, will try to avoid this. They look at it, say that's too difficult, charts are easier. And the problem is that many traders will still say this after attempting to trade solely off charts for 10 years or more and not making any money. Now, prop firms have to get their traders profitable as soon as possible. So they pay money to train their traders. And after the training, there's ongoing costs. They've got building rent, they've got desk costs, they've got data feeds. So a trader that's not profitable is just all cost to a prop firm. So if there's an easier or faster way to get profitable than using this, prop firms would do it. Because all a prop firm cares about is making money with as little risk as possible. They're not trading purists that are using dome for some noble reason. Now, you're probably thinking, well, you know, this guy, I don't really want to listen to this. Why listen to me? Well, what is it that I know about prop trading? Well, in my role at Jigsaw, I actually work with many of these prop firms, and they tell me what features they need in their trading software and why. So I'm simply lucky enough to have been exposed to that environment so I can help other people to understand what it is they do. And in fact, this is me sitting at a prop trader's desk shortly before the prop trader kicked me off it. Now we can see at this desk we've got 3 screens here, 3 main screens that the guy's looking at are all looking at the depth of market, because that's where all the trading happens. Now we do also have some longer term charts here and a few screens with the news, but the DOM, the depth of market, is where all the action occurs. Now often traders look at the DOM and they say, oh, I think I'll come back to that when I've got more experience. And to that, I usually reply something along the lines of, well, do you really think prop firms are trying to make their lives more difficult, or the lives more difficult for new traders? Because that's the implication. If the charts really provided an easier way to trade in the depth of market, then prop firms would be intentionally choosing something more difficult. Or maybe they just don't know it's more difficult, and the retail traders at home that read an internet forum have actually got the real skinny on trading. So the first step on the journey to profit, and the focus for us at Jigsaw, is a heavy emphasis on trading depth of market. And we're not shy about this. It's the industry standard. It's what works. For most people, though, this really is outside their comfort zone, because since the first day they started looking at trading, it was all about trading off charts. Now, prop firms teach trading from the DOM first because it's simply the fastest way to get those first profits. And not just those first profits either. The really successful prop traders, those with regular days, $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 weeks, they are still using the DOM to trade off. Now, prop traders, as you can see here, they will use charts, but mostly just to know where the key levels are, often just looking at charts before they start trading for the day. So, for example, if you are coming towards an all-time high, you want to know that before you started trading for the day. But this whole overemphasis on chart trading is one of the reasons home traders struggle so much. Now, earlier on, a few minutes ago, I used the term first profits, which is another concept that some retail traders misunderstand. Now, I recently had a chat with a trader who was trying to trade big moves on crude, and this is somebody that's been losing at trading for 2 decades. Now, he'd had a bad day, and he contacted me on Skype. He was kind of venting his frustrations, pretty much convinced at that point. He actually said it, I think trading's impossible. Nobody can do it. And what he was doing was very typical. He was trying to buy the low of the day on crude with a view to getting a big 50, 60, 80 tick winner. Now, instead of those big winners he was looking for, I asked him, if you could get just a 3 tick winner on crude right now. And he said no, he couldn't. No idea how to do it. Even after 20 years, no idea how to get 3 ticks out. So I told him to wait a few minutes. And then 5 minutes later, I showed him this trade log. A 3 tick winner on crude for 3 contracts. $90 profit before commissions, doing nothing more complicated than seeing a market seeing a market in an up move and then buying it. And that trade lasted less than 2 minutes. Now, obviously, you can't pull 3 ticks out of crude every 5 minutes. There's going to be hours with no trades, and there's going to be hours with lots of trades. So in this example, it was just 3 contracts. You could scale that up to 5, 6, 10. Maybe you struggle if you get up to 20 contracts. But for the moment, let's just stick with this $90. And let's say you could pull $90 out of the market 4 times an hour for 2 hours a day. That would be $360 an hour, or $720 a day. Now, that is not going to buy you a Ferrari, but it is better than losing. But many losing traders, and probably people in this room as well, would look at that $90 3-tick trade and say, well, it's hardly even worth learning how to do that because I've got my eye on the big money. Yet they'll happily continue sim trading or losing, trying to find a method to get those big hero trades. And the key thing to remember is that profit is not the final destination in trading. It is merely a milestone on the journey. So you don't become profitable and then suddenly stop improving. Once you make those first small profits, you have a much better idea of what does and doesn't work, what trading is really all about. You can scale up, you can add markets, you can add other trades. There's lots and lots of ways to grow as a trader. But this obsession with big money by traders that consistently lose is a form of self-sabotage. It's putting up a barrier to your own success. So if you're making $0 a day trading, then $100 a day is better. It's better for your bank balance and much, much better for your confidence as a trader. It's not the end goal, but you shouldn't ignore those small trades. So this isn't a question. When people talk about trading, it's all about, oh, where do I get in, where do I get out? And this really isn't a question of where to enter the market, but it is one of a number of developmental issues that many new traders face. In fact, if we compare the development process of retail and prop traders, there's a number of differences that the retail trader should really pay attention to. Okay, it's not all about where do I get in. There's a number of other factors that contribute to professional traders being more successful than retail traders. Now, it's worth noting, I said before, not all prop firms are the same. Some prop firms have absolutely terrible education programs, terrible trader development programs, big washout rate. So we're going to stick with what the better prop firms do. And if you've been at a crappy prop firm, all I can say is you have my sympathy. Okay, so retail traders, first difference between retail and prop, fairly obvious. Retail traders lose money for years or never get off sim. As we saw in those poll results, some retail traders lose money for decades. Prop traders, though, they don't have that luxury. They don't get paid big salaries, plus they cost their firms money. And obviously not all prop traders make it either, but the fact is they don't have the luxury of being able to lose money or sim trade for years. Now, retail traders tend to focus on methods that involve trying to predict the future. For example, the concepts of support and resistance are very, very popular in the retail world. A lot of traders will see a market moving down and get the idea that they now need to find support and trade that. But ultimately, what that means is they see a market moving down and they trade against it over and over and over again. So they ask questions like, well, what's the best way to find support? Or there's questions like, what's the best way to tell if a support level is holding? But they tend not to ask if buying a market that's moving down is a good idea, or if the concepts of predicting future turning points like support and resistance is valid in the first place. I mean, that's really a discussion for another webinar, but you see what I mean. Now, prop firms, they tend towards methods that trade what is happening right here, right now. For example, they might trade with momentum. They might see stuck traders and trade against them. They might trade increased volatility after a news release. They might see another guy trading and go with that trader. Now, all trading involves making predictions to some extent. After all, even if you trade what is happening now, you are predicting that it will keep on happening. But prop trading is more in the moment and about reading the activity of your fellow traders right now. And then there's the approach. With prop traders, they're giving instruction on how the markets behave and on how to take advantage of that behavior. They are not given a cookie-cutter set of trading rules. So it's more a process for them of discovering what works for them. Still, they are very focused and they can't just switch from one technique to another every week. Now, one big benefit in a prop firm is there's a lot more conviction that the techniques they're using really work because they're in an office full of people using similar methods. Now, accountability is another difference. Your average retail trader is accountable to no one except perhaps their spouse. So after a bad day sim trading, they can just hit the reset button. They can purposely ignore days where they went completely off plan and tell themselves, oh, I won't do that again. Now, at a prop firm, you have management. Management that could one day walk up and say, you know, look, my friend, it's just not working out. And that has a huge impact on the amount of discipline traders apply. Journaling along a similar line, you know, journaling, tracking your progress, the poll we took showed that 3/4 of traders weren't doing it. 100% of them knew they should do it, they just don't. After all, there really is nothing worse after a bad trade than writing down what an idiot you were. It's hard. The problem, though, is your log, your journal, is where the gold is. It's where you find out what works for you. And then finally, there's contact with other traders. So in a prop firm, you are immersed in a trading environment. You can talk to other traders, just chat if you're bored, discuss what they're doing, discuss what you're doing. And just like the Skype chat I pasted earlier, it's good to talk to other traders. I mean, I personally have a few close professional trader friends that I speak to on a regular basis, just to chat half about life and half about the markets. You know, people trading other markets or even techniques that you don't, they're often going to be picking up on changes that you didn't notice yet, but they'll probably impact you. And most retail traders simply don't have this. They might have an internet forum they go on full of other people losing money, but they're not really talking to people who are successfully trading. In fact, you know, you've probably also experienced, you know, your friend's eyes glazing over when you talk to them about trading socially. So retail traders lack that contact. Now, once you understand the importance of all these factors, you can start looking at ways to say, well, you know, I don't have the journal, I'm not accountable to anyone. You can actually start to look at ways to replicate these things. After all, just because a prop firm benefits from these things and you don't, it doesn't mean you can't have them. It doesn't mean there's no way to replicate them. It just means you don't have them yet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through the way that Jigsaw replicates these things. You don't have to use them. You don't have to replicate these things using Jigsaw. You can do it other ways, but I'm going to talk you through the way we do this. So let's walk through these elements again and see how we can replicate them at home. Now, first of all, from trading, from a platform perspective, the Jigsaw Day Trader platform is a very highly focused day trading execution platform. Okay, it doesn't have 1,000 indicators. In fact, it has just one indicator, and we don't plan to add any more. So it's for people that want to use proven techniques used by professional traders to define or refine their trades. The tools focus on reading real-time trading behavior and seeing where other traders' positions are, and that's what's important after all. Now, you can use them alongside any technique you currently have to predict where the market's going to turn, or you can just use them with the short-term techniques that we give you. Now, just because we support prop firm techniques doesn't mean there's no room for innovation and giving prop traders things that perhaps they didn't already have. Now, prop firms have historically tended to use just one of a few professional platforms depending on the type of instruments they trade, and there's not been a great deal of innovation within those leading platforms. Now, what we can see here is the Jigsaw Day Trader platform in use today both in prop firms and by traders at home. Now, you can see typical order flow action up here on the NASDAQ. You can see we moved up, buyers got trapped up here, market sells off, headed towards an area of high buy side liquidity, then the sellers get trapped before we get to that liquidity area, market moves up, we see it head fakes through the old high, and buyers get trapped again. Very, very typical kind of action that prop traders would want to take advantage of. But this is the sort of screenshot that warms my heart more than the other one, still from the Day Trader platform, but it puts fear into the hearts of retail traders. And it sees them running back to their price charts in many cases, those charts that until now have not actually made them any money. Now, the problem seems to be the numbers. Okay, people see numbers and there's numbers, I just want lines, I don't want to see numbers. Okay, but most of the time you're not actually trying to read the numbers anyway. So most of the time you'll be focused on trading just one instrument. So you might be focused, for instance, on the ultra bonds over here, and the other markets are simply there to give you an idea of how active the markets are overall, whether correlated markets are cooperating, whether the liquidity is dying out. The center line is there to help you easily eyeball relative changes between the markets. So for me, if I'm looking at this market and I want to glance across at the other 5 markets to see where we are in relationship to them, it's literally just a 1-second glance and you can see what's happening. So obviously in that 1-second glance you're not going to read all the numbers. Now, when you look at the individual market you're trading, you're mostly interested in the pace of the market, how it's moving up and down, how active it is, how traders are engaging, whether traders are getting stuck. You are not doing calculations with the numbers in your head, but you are interested in excessively large numbers or when all of the size disappears. Now, one of the other things when trading is it's very important to be able to react quickly without any fuss. Okay, so this platform has many unique navigation features that really could only have been designed by a fellow trader. So for instance, we can see in the position monitor here, we have buttons here that let us launch domes and tapes just by clicking next to a position. And we also avoided that bugbear that a lot of platforms have, that if you open a settings window like this one, that suddenly you can't click anywhere else. And with this platform, it doesn't matter which windows you have open, everything remains responsive because you always need to be able to exit a trade at any point in time, regardless of whether you just decided to open a settings window to change a color on another dome. The platform is also truly multi-threaded, so if you've got a 4, 8, 16, 32 processor machine, it will utilize that. But the bottom line, it's a fast but focused platform that's very easy to use and very trader friendly. Now, from an approach perspective, we have educational material that you can use to complement or even replace your current method. So you can use order flow to confirm and refine your existing trade entries, or you can just use order flow on its own. Now, regardless of how you apply this, there is a common theme throughout that education material. So you're not going to find yourself pulled in different directions. And of course, this common theme also ties in with the tools and the other elements we've shown today. Now do bear in mind, you can use this alongside your existing techniques, but if the method you have is not profitable now, there's a very good probability that it can't be fixed. Now, I'm more than happy to discuss individual cases with people, but for some people, they would be simply better off dropping what they're doing now and moving to short-term trading. Trading where there's no real bias or preconceived notions about what might happen that day or where a market might turn, where you're just trading the here and now. Now, it's your choice. We're not here to make you do something you don't want to do, but we are happy to give an opinion if you give us some history. So just don't email us saying, you know, oh, I'm not making any money, how can you help? Because I get that email a lot and there is absolutely nothing I can do because I need a little bit more information about what it is you're doing. Now the next component, accountability. This is an interesting one because it's very difficult to force somebody to become accountable, right? So we thought long and hard about how to make traders more accountable, and we came up with the concept of having a leaderboard or a league table. Now this is optional, but it is a very valuable skills development tool. So if you opt into this, all of your trades are sent to our servers, and there's a league table showing you all traders so you can see how you compare with them. So to encourage, the other thing, to encourage people to opt in, we're also giving away monthly prizes from other trading firms to the best performers and the most improved. Now, the league table does not show your full name, so this isn't really the good doctor. So you can pick a display name so that you'll be anonymous to others, but you will see all of your trading. So with this, there is no deleting trades. There is no resetting your account, okay? It is going to be exactly as pretty or as ugly as the trades you've actually made. Now the ranking for traders is not based on profit, it's actually based on consistency, because it's consistency that gets you from a sim account to a live account at a prop firm. In fact, the consistency rating method we used was actually developed based on criteria at a prop firm in the UK. Now here's the thing, there's going to be traders that join this league table to win, right? They want to win, okay? I want to be on top. And there's going to be traders that end up at the bottom of this, and what do? They see themselves at the bottom. What do? They opt out of the league table because they feel they're going to be at the bottom. They're ashamed, okay? But it's the traders at the bottom that need the league table the most. And this is another form of self-sabotage. People don't want to see their own bad performance. The trouble is, that also means they've got no real way to really see even minor improvements. You know, you've all figured out already, everybody that's watching now, you've all figured out that trading is a tough game, okay? And let's be honest, if you can't face a bad journal, if you can't look at your own results or your own standing on a league table because you're ashamed or because it makes you feel bad, then you probably haven't got what it takes to be a trader, because it does take mental toughness, okay? So toughen up and stop hiding from your own results. I know you're not all doing it, but there are plenty of people that do. Now, as well as the leaderboard, you can also share, you can see this shared trades, you can also share your trade history with other users, and they can share theirs with you. And this was primarily developed for a prop firm that is interested in using the leaderboard and the sharing to look for talented traders so that they can hire them. Because obviously, for a prop firm, it's difficult. They have to recruit the right people. You know, they can't afford to take on 100 people and have 90 fail, right? So recruitment's a bit of an issue at a prop firm. They really have to put a lot of effort and a lot of thought into how they actually recruit the right people, and then they have to go through the process of trading them, and then some of them will wash out. But if a prop firm can actually find talented traders using something like a leaderboard here, they're going to save a ton of money, okay? So you better believe that prop firms are very, very interested in seeing this information. So we've got two main purposes for sharing your stats. First of all, it's very, very smart to have a trading buddy, a partner that you share your trades with and that you're accountable to. It helps with that accountability. But second of all, you might need to share your trade history with whoever funds your account or someone that's interested in funding you. Okay, the next one is the logging. So the logging and the leaderboard, they're two separate things. You can opt into the leaderboard or not, but even if you don't opt into the leaderboard, you can still opt into having the logging, having your trades logged, and that is automated. So even if you don't join the leaderboard, you can still have your log. You can't log selectively, okay? So if you're using the trade logging on Jigsaw, you can't log selectively and you can't delete the log, okay? Now I know there are a small minority of cases where you could legitimately need to delete some trades, right? But on balance, we just didn't want to put any loopholes in here, okay? We don't want to give people the chance to wipe out bad behavior, right? If you do it, live with it, right? Don't hide from it. So when you take a trade, it's going to be on our server in seconds, and then you'll be able to use our tools to analyze your performance and the changes in your performance over time. Now the final element, which was kind of a lot easier to put together, is being in a community with other traders. So if you go to a prop firm, there's a lot of camaraderie, there's a lot of swearing, you know, it's a team, people going for lunch together, they can be talking about their bad trades, their good trades over lunch, you know, they're screaming when they've had a bad trade, people are breaking keyboards because they've done something wrong. They're immersed, people at prop firms are immersed in that trading environment, okay? So we have a few different ways that we like to bring traders together. Okay, one of them, if you look around on social media and just search for Jigsaw, you'll find blogs, you'll find YouTube channels, you'll find people with their journals on trading forums. But that's kind of one-way communication, right? It's good information, but it's one way. You know, so one of the ways that we bring traders together is that you're more than welcome to come and bend my ear on Skype, as you saw one of the traders did a few slides ago. But we also have a free chat room for customers. Now it's mostly active during the US morning session. Not many traders trading Eurex, or certainly not talking about it on our chat. This is not moderated, right? There is no leader, there is no boss, there is no teacher, there is nobody to tell you that you've been naughty. It's just a gathering place for traders to discuss trading, and traders that are all serious and focused in the same direction, the same family of techniques, right? There is no bullying on here. It is purely serious guys talking about trading. So you're not going to find anyone here discussing trading horoscopes, moon phases, Elliott waves, other stuff like that. So traders can chat in this main room, or they can have one-on-one video or audio chats with each other. Now the people that get the most out of this tool, out of the chat, are the people that engage, right? There's no point coming in here and watching, right? You've got to engage. Other people's reactions to your comment is just as useful as other people's comments with each other, other people's discussions with each other, okay? It's just a bunch of nice regular people with a common goal, okay? You do not have to worry about sounding stupid because everybody has been there before, nobody's going to shout at you. It's great to ask questions, join discussions on market activity, tell people where you got into trades, or just be there to stop yourself making boredom trades. Now, if you do engage here, you will get feedback, okay? If you post a trade, people might comment on it. I mean, yesterday, I think in this chat, yesterday or the day before, somebody got into trade, and I replied. A number of people replied, "You're going to get run over." Okay, so just bear in mind, if somebody says that, doesn't mean you have to get over your trade. That is an opinion, right? So when you're in a chat like this, if you take a trade with conviction, don't let other people talk you out of it. Okay, but people are going to be happy to give their perspective on what's going on, and getting those perspectives is going to be value even if you are still developing as a trader. So that kind of takes us through the elements that most people don't really think about that prop firms have that really impact your success. But one final aspect of trader development we've really got to talk about is that many successful traders, I would say almost all, okay, but I'm going to say many because I've not met many that haven't been through this. they got very close to giving up along the way. Okay, so in fact, it's very common in the professional trading world that traders reach a real low point just before the markets become clear, and it's almost as if giving up is required to become successful. Okay, so seeing people around you making it when you're not making it is very frustrating, and just you get to the point where you feel like you might as well give up and get a real job. Now, just like the physical elements we discussed today, it seems some traders need to go through this phase before they just clear their heads with the market. So something maybe that many of you have got to look forward to. But just be aware that this is just as common with professional traders that get professional training. Okay, so when you hit a low point, it might not be time to switch to a new technique. Okay, you just might be a lot closer than you think. And now would be a good time to type in any questions you have. I can actually see some questions there already, so we'll go through those. What you've seen today is a collection of, or maybe if you call them tools, or a collection of components that make up the Jigsaw Day Trader trading experience. A set of tools, each focused on a different area of the trader development process. Now, we've been around since 2011, but what you're seeing today is a significant upgrade from our existing tool set, which has just over 4,500 users. So we plan the official launch of what you're seeing today on the 28th or 29th of August, depending on when we get the new website finalized. But saying that, all of our existing customers have got access to these tools already, which is just like not an official release. Now, what's going to happen next week, 28th, 29th, 30th, not sure, depends on the web developers, is we're going to put the price up. This is not a marketing scam, it is just a fact. Okay, so if you do go to the website on Monday or Tuesday, you might see a much higher price. Those of you who do buy before then, you will get access to all of these tools immediately for the old price of $399.99. You buy today, you use them today. So if you're ready to learn institutional level trading techniques that will benefit you for a lifetime, with award-winning software to execute and access to a like-minded community of traders, you can get all of that with what we call our zero risk proposition. So simply put, if you sign up, get the tools, use the tools, and decide the tools are not for you, all you got to do is let us know within 14 days and we'll give you a refund. There is no need to tell us why. It's up to you, you're trading. It's not that we don't care, it's just that we don't pry. We don't ask questions. If it's within the 14 days, you get your money back. So for those of you not yet profitable, if you have a look back at where you were a year ago with your trading, ask yourself if you've seen huge improvements, made significant gains in that 1 year. And take a look forward to where you want to be with your trading in 1 year time. Is it going to be the same place you are now, trying the 100th different technique, or are you going to be somewhere different? So as discussed, there is a lot more to trading than just where to get in that of the market. So for the best chance of being where you want to be in 12 months, consider those other success factors we've discussed today, and consider getting them covered by joining the Jigsaw community. So with that, I'm going to start having a look through the questions. I'll try and find the ones that are for me. Okay, I'm new to Jigsaw, but so far I think it rocks. I'm confused about identifying momentum. Is there a way to look at the DOM to identify momentum moves? Yeah, basically, James, let's say the market's moving up, or it's a momentum move up. What you're going to see, you'll see, a market sluggish, maybe we're in a small 4 or 5 tick trading range, and then the market starts to tick up. So you'll be printing 100 contracts maybe on each side, and the market's fairly balanced. And then you'll maybe see 500 contracts hit the offers. So we've got 500 buy market orders, and then the market ticks up. We see 400 buy market orders, market ticks up, 300 buy market orders, market ticks up, and it's going boom, 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 up through the levels. It'll take a little break, maybe tick down 1 or 2 ticks, and then boom, 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 boom. So it's really about speed. And what your issue is, James, we've got some drills that you have to do, or no, you don't have to do. We can't make you do drills. I wish we could. We can't force you to do drills. But we've got some drills, some exercises that we give you in the welcome email. It's also on the front page of the manual. You need to do those drills. You need to spend 60 to 90 minutes. It's just like learning to ride a bicycle, right? So those drills are the learn to ride the bicycle. And once you've done those drills, do 6 or 7 hours of those drills, and then come back to me on Skype and we can have a chat about what you're seeing. But basically, what you need to do, instead of like opening Jigsaw and opening your charts and trying to trade and trying to do this, take a step back and say, oh, you've got to learn a new skill. I'm learning about order flow. I need to just spend, I need to commit 10 hours to doing these drills, or doing the first set of drills. If you do that, you will not be asking that question anymore. But if you still get that question after you've done the drills 5 or 6 hours, then come back to me. Lawrence is saying, not sure exactly what you have. Well, Lawrence, we have a trading platform. We have a bunch of other tools that we have around that. It's a trading platform built around professional trading techniques. Then we've got the leaderboard and a bunch of tools on the website, education material. It's all basically based around professional trading techniques. So it's kind of just a rounded offering. Which US brokerages do Jigsaw Tools support? Well, you can use the tools with NinjaTrader, Multicharts, Trader8, OEC Trader. You can also use them as standalone tools. We support the direct connections to CQG, Rhythmic, and IQ Feed connections. So any broker that supports those is actually already supporting Jigsaw. We also do support trading with companies like Top Step Trader as well. We have relationships with them for those who are using their combine. Phil saying, I do great with pullback trades but fail miserably when shorting. Well, for me, shorts, I don't know if you're saying that the shorts are pullback trades or the shorts reversal trades. So if your shorts are full reversal trades where a market's going up and you're trying to guess where it's going to stop and turn around, I would say that's not what people do in prop firms. I don't think it's a good idea. For me, you wait till the market's turned around and then you go with it. Okay, so I would say trying to guess where the high of the day, everybody's saying they're doing it, but it's a big cause of retail trader failure. Now, if you're having difficulty identifying pullbacks, short or long, probably the best thing to do is give me a Skype chat, because I don't really understand why there would be any difference. Shorts, you tend to have people bailing a little bit faster on the short side, but effectively it's the same thing. Phil, yeah, if you go to the Jigsaw blog, there is a category for trade videos, so you can actually see the live trades there. Same question that David asked. Sim trading, we're doing demo trading with daytradr at the moment, which means you use CQG demo accounts. We will be doing sim trading later on. It's not a huge priority for us because we've got the demo trading. Somebody says, thank you. Can put together 4 to 7 days of time of profitable days and then blow it with bad discipline. Yeah, you need to have a journal. Basically, you've got a consistency issue and you've got an overconfidence issue. So basically, what I would do, for me, my best days are the days where I lose the first trade because it gets me focused. But if you're doing like 4 to 7 winning days at a time, and then you're just blowing it with bad discipline, you're probably just getting overconfidence, and you need to basically get yourself centered and grounded before you start that 8th day, and tell yourself this isn't easy, right? You've just worked hard to put in 4 to 7 profitable days, and you don't just go in and start clicking at random on the 8th. Do we support charts for cryptocurrency, exchange or forex? Cryptocurrency we will do. We don't do forex because there is no market depth or time and sales on forex, so it's kind of a bit pointless in having a dome up. What limit do you look for to trade a range? I'm not really sure I understand that question, so I'm going to pass on that. How do institutions hide their large trades from the dome? Well, if you hide your trades on the dome, you're at the back of the queue, so they don't always hide, especially if they want to be executed. Sometimes they just put them out there, but a lot of times what they do is when the market comes towards them and starts trading, they actually start refreshing their limit orders at that level, which is called an iceberg order. Now, somebody's asking about no BS trading tools. Somebody's going to have to tell Manoj what BS stands for. I'm not allowed to swear. BS. I'm trying to find a nice word for it. No lies, trading tools. Get ready to sign up. Okay, if you're doing a TSD combine, top step combine, you do not need a monthly subscription with Jigsaw. We waived that fee for the combines. And that looks like I got through all the questions painlessly, I think. Good, I got through all the questions. So I'm going to hand back control. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for giving your questions. I'm going to hand back control. You've got 5 minutes now, 5 minutes break. You can all take a toilet break or a break for a drink. So thank you very much.